Cause y'all know what it is.
TNN Trap Music Network.
I was with Rich Trapper.
I fucks with you.
Warning, this video is for satire, educational, and comedy use only. It is not intended to be actual fact, nor is it intended to give real meaning to any of the questions you ponder about late.
Conversation, man. A year later, the Wack 100 and Big U situation, man. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
You're not listed in this indictment as witness, cooperative. And by the way,
oh, this is about, let me see, this is about a year ago when we had this conversation. About a year ago. So we're gonna break some things down like a pound, Charlie Brown. You feel me? Now, the purpose of this video is not any type of bullying, no type of any of harassment, no type of flambery, skullduggery, or larceny. This video is not intended to hurt anybody. This video is not intended to promote anything outside of the facts of what we see in the YouTube streets, man. None of this is true. It's all just entertainment. Nobody's here for anything but a good time. Let's rock out.
I do have a theory though, and I don't know if you guys, I joined late. And again, first of all, I wouldn't even entertain any conversation. I see some people trying to with the bullshit. You're not listed in this indictment as witness, cooperant, victim, nothing, which means the police is acknowledging you've never had contact with them, right?
Never.
Now, this is where it becomes interesting because Wack has just told academics that he's not mentioned as anything in the Big U trial, but we do have this. And let's go here real quick. Let me see. Damn. Let's see this. Ah, man, so we're going to have to fast forward this a little bit. It's Nina Boy's page.
So, I mean, a disagreement is a disagreement. I don't know how that factors in the FBI. I think you too.
So this is after the fact of Wack saying that he was talking to the FBI, but that's not what I was looking for. I believe this is what I was looking for right about here.
Threat. Yeah. Like pussy. Fat. Hairy, pink, wet, pussy. Here's the paperwork right here. So, the source and author of the defamatory statement, as published and disseminated by World Star Hip Hop, is a felon widely known to be biased against and openly hostile towards me. This is what Wack 100 put in paperwork on me, that I'm a felon that's widely known to be biased and openly hostile towards him. Specifically, the author of the video is Lamonte Sims, aka Deuce M's. Sims, a convicted felon who serves as the self-proclaimed CEO of Active Chucks Entertainment. Sims has a well-documented pattern of engaging in vexatious litigation and long ago initiated a public campaign of defamation and harassment directed at me. On or around June 6, 2022, Sims released an entire podcast episode focused solely on me. One of several such episodes explicitly stating that the
hold on, chat. That's not chat. That ain't what I was looking for. Hold on. That ain't quite what I was looking for. That's something, but it's a lot of paperwork floating around in these YouTube streets. So let me see. Because I can't figure this one here out. Let me see. Okay, here it is. Right here. Boom.
Cause y'all know what it is.
TNN Trap Music Network.
I was with.
No, that's the him talking about why he in the paperwork. Oh yeah, I'm going up. Oh yeah, the homie looking like, what the hell you got going on? I'm talking to my imaginary friends. I think it's like, who's this nigga here talking to? Man, my nigga, that's why I gotta keep up the fight. Here it is, y'all. All right, hold on, chat. I think this is it, right? Fuck it, let me see.
Yo,
What I'm doing?
where
Wire?
Wack was, basically saying that Big U set his son up to be anally bukked. You feel me? And now he's explaining why. So let's. All right.
And did that. And that young man ain't never been the same since. Damn. You know what he did? His son hated him, bro. Hey, he was gonna try to kill him. I'm telling you. This real shit. That's why I be sitting back. No, none of them like Mike. Really don't like him. Why he be playing the role? He beat Mike so bad he took to the penitentiary when he got out. We had to go bail the nigga out. You know. Y'all probably go find it. Go look 2004. Look at however they be charging and paying with beating the kids. You'll find it, Eugene Henley. You'll find it. In the block. And then looked like he was lying on me, telling Mike, Wack told me you stole something from Chris Brown. Nigga, I ain't never told you no dumbass shit like that. I'm listening to Michael's this little shit interviews. Like, yeah, Wack was up until he told my dad that I did this to Chris Brown. I don't know why he told him that. I ain't never in life even heard nothing about Michael doing nothing to damn Chris Brown. But he knew how close I was to the used to be the one looked out for him. When he leave him on the corner, I double back. Come on, hurry up. Shut up and take you over here, be quiet. They knew cases they got into it. They wasn't no damn fool. They knew who was the nigga helping them getting out of shit and helping them maintain the roof over their head, and they knew. The block.
Now, that's another little interesting little thing. Talking about how Big U had people hit Chris Brown. Keep in mind, the question DJ Academics asked was, is he involved in any of the paperwork any type of way? And this is actually what I was looking for right here. Wow. Shout out to Al Prophet.
What this means, because I want to give you guys more detailed breakdown. Big shout out to Al Prophet. But, excuse me, we're going to take this to Chat GPT.
So the night in question where Big U is being charged with assault on Wack is after, I believe, this night right here. Let me see this. But I'm going to keep looking.
Nothing, scratch, nothing. Knock that shit off, bro. Yeah, this is 121, so don't compare it with a weirdo talking about and go grab what the reality is. Knock it off. Yeah. Real talk. Leave it where it's at. What you do know is what it is. That's what you do know. Let's keep that real. It's crazy, my nigga. Take a picture. You take a picture, take the whole picture. Life.
So this is the night in question that Academics is asking Wack 100 about. This is them at the Novo where Wack had been, a Trap Lord Ross. Well, I don't know who's asking the question, Trap Lord Ross or Academics, but this is the situation at the Novo where Wack was accosted. He was in a costume, and this is where he says that the dudes kind of like jumped on him and flew Flam, Skull Dug, and larcened him. So here's this. So this is Wack being stuck after he's trying to leave a situation. X, Y, and Z. He had an issue. Dudes put hands on him. Wack then got smacked up. got cracked up, got bow, 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 bing, bow, boom, bow, boom, bow, bam. He got all that. And he was trying to escape the situation. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to get away from them dudes because every time he go out, somebody put his hands on him. Yeah, that's when he got whooped up at the game show, which makes sense because him and the game are no longer cool. He's not, involved with the game or anything like that. So it makes sense that he got whooped up at the game show. That actually does make a lot of sense. And not only did he get whooped up at the game, not only did he get whooped up at the game show, he got up out of there, ran fast.
Yeah, fuck Wack up. So how niggas is seeing when Wack move, niggas is moving.
There it is. Right here. Right here. Right here. There's a commotion. Right here. There it is.
Training day shit. Ready?
So this is, again, the incident at hand that Wack is talking about at the Novo that he brought up on No Jumper as he trapped Lil Ross, Remo, Adam 22, and Academics sat down and they chopped it up about this. This is a situation at the Novo where things kind of got out of hand, where Wack was allegedly accosted.
So yeah.
But this is going to lead us into talking about the actual paperwork. But we're going to go back to Academics and Adam 22 before we get into that.
How niggas is seeing when Wack move?
Right there. There you go. Right there.
So they know they like,
dude? You see bro come from over there to see what's going on? You see the little scuffle? You see Wack getting pressed up? Oh, we got the content.
This is training day shit. Ready? So yeah. How niggas is seeing when Wack move?
Right there.
Niggas is moving. So they
you see Wack's little ass in that white shirt right there, little shirt right there. You see him right there. You see a whole bunch of little flu flammery going on right here in this corner.
No, this is where it turned into some training day shit. Ready? So yeah.
Because this is where Wack makes his escape at, around here by the speaker. This is where Wack runs at.
How niggas is seeing when Wack move? Niggas is moving. No, they like, oh, all right. Them niggas is here to fuck Wack up. Hey.
You see Wack in a white shirt? Like I said.
How niggas is seeing when Wack?
Right here. You see the nigga in a white shirt get pressed up. Right here. You see the nigga in a white shirt get pressed up.
Niggas is moving. So they know they like, oh, all right. Them niggas is here.
It's a little hard to see. So I'll do this for you guys. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see something. Boom. There you go. You in a white shirt get pressed up. Right here. You see the nigga in a white shirt get pressed up.
Niggas is moving. So they know they like, oh, all right. Them niggas is here to fuck Wack up.
You see Kanye. Watch Wack run.
So boom, we go upstairs.
Look at Wack looking all scared.
We sitting right there by DJ Quick. We got DJ Quick dressing room. He at the top of the Nova. So if you know the Nova.
Look at Wack right there, scared. Them rolling 60s got you pressed up.
It's a hallway, and it's a similar hallway right upstairs. You just gotta go up that stairs. So the stairs, it makes like a spiral. You know what I'm saying? It's not that big, but it 4 people can maybe walk down the stairs at the same time or up the stairs at the same time. So boom, 30 people smush up the stairs. When we get to the top of the stairs, we looking for Wack people kind of like, hey, we what y'all on? They're like, oh, y'all on bullshit. We like, yeah. They're like, oh.
Y'all on bullshit. We like, yeah. Y'all on bullshit. We like, yeah. Yeah, we on bullshit.
And we hitting up here, so we like, cool. So now we standing right there. Of course, if we would corrupt, they corrupt running the DJ Quick.
You see Wack scary ass right there, still looking around Spooky Johnson.
They chopping it up for a second. You know what I'm saying? So we don't stand still real quick. So boom, at this moment,
Wack looks super spooked. Look at that dude spooked. He's such a little guy too. Bro, so small, he don't even pass the cymbals on the drum. Look where the stage is for the drum, how the drum is looked up. This nigga not even taller than the cymbals.
We kind of like, man, we ain't gonna find a nigga running from us. So we like, fuck it, man. We
look at Wack talking, trying to get somebody else on his side.
We gonna go down because Donnie about to perform. Well, Dan, we're gonna just go down the stairs and go get ready by the stage.
Hey, look how uncomfortable Wack look. Look at all that fidgeting. Look at all that shuffling. Look at all that. This nigga keep fixing his blouse. Look at how many times this nigga fixes his blouse.
But we would corrupt, They corrupt.
Yeah, because he's a pussy. He got a blouse on. Look at how many times this nigga fixed his blouse.
When the DJ quick, they chopping it up for a second. You know what I'm saying? So we on standstill real quick. So boom. At this moment,
pay attention to how many times this nigga fixes his blouse. Right here. Look how many times this nigga fixes his blouse.
We kind of like, man, we ain't gonna find a nigga running from us. So we like, fuck it, man. We just gonna go down because Donnie about to perform. But gang, we're gonna just go down the stairs and go get ready by the stage.
And it says where he gets smacked in the back of the head. So pay attention to Wack right here.
Down this thing, because now Wack knows that we was in that bar, so he's not gonna run back. So now he's trying to figure out a way to get Kanye out this motherfucker. Because now Kanye leaving. So as we're going to lead down those stairs that leads back downstairs to the main hallway to the stage, because now Kanye leaving. So as we're going to lead down those stairs that leads back down.
Okay, so we pretty much can see that Wack, having his issue where he was a costume. You feel me? Let's slide back into the No Jumper interview that we were talking about originally, because this is what kind of led us to this point. But I did find the actual paperwork that I was looking for related to this subject.
And by the way, I do have a theory though, and I don't know if you guys, I joined late. And again, first of all, I wouldn't even entertain any conversation. I see some people trying to with the bullshit. You're not listed in this indictment as witness, co-op.
So this is a year ago, and since this podcast has come out a year ago, Wack has since been listed allegedly by the federal government as a victim in this case. And the issue is the situation that we just watched, and Wack is going to actually talk about that same situation on this interview, and that's what led to Big U being being charged with alleged assault on this man. So let's get into this.
Victim nothing, which means the police is acknowledging you've never had contact with them, right?
Never.
They actually describe you as a rival, basically almost somebody that they might be looking to their damn self. So it doesn't look like. But I will say, some of
we're gonna let this kind of play out for a minute. I don't want to keep interrupting the content, so we're gonna kind of let it play out for a minute. But we're gonna let Wack give his dissertation on what's going on, and then we'll actually get an update of what's going on in real time with this situation, because it's very interesting how he's so adamant about not being mentioned anywhere, shape, form, or fashion within this case. But as we can see in present day, that's actually just not the case anymore.
You may have.
So maybe, you know what, though? I will say this. At the time where this came out, to be 100% fair, at the time where this came out, Wack was in fact not named as a victim in the case. He was not named a victim as a case at all. So things have changed since then. So I will give him the credit where the credit is due, because at the time of filming, he was not named as a victim in this situation.
Help with the timing, right? I think you.
What's that?
I think you tipping off Big U. I think that definitely.
I did what?
I think you going online and saying that, and the only reason I'm saying this is that if you ever read any federal indictment,
I did what? I tipped him off.
You tipped him off via
What
online.
did the lady say in the recording I sent you?
Well,
please don't what?
Please don't tell. But this is why I'm coming to this conclusion. So the way
you did tip him off because you said that you were going online to warn him. That's your own admission that you said that you were going online to warn him of a potential flu, flam, skulldug, and a larceny that he could be a victim of. He was being accosted by the legal system, and you made sure that he didn't end up in a costume.
How these type of, especially murder, like we haven't seen the grand jury indictment. It has to go to grand jury. This was done through just a complaint, which means.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing about that, Flex to Flash. I actually did know at the time that this was going to end up happening. I don't know if you remember, but I was very adamant that certain actions by certain podcasters and or YouTubers was going to lead to Big U being put into a legal situation. And, people told me that I was tripping and everybody told me blah, blah, blah. But I did actually predict this situation.
They usually go to this is a 4-year investigation. They're definitely going to grand jury. They only do, that's a quick way to get an indictment when an officer or an agent says, we need you to sign off on this, that we can arrest them. I think that they think Big U is about to be on the run, honestly. Why would he be on the run? Wack is on everywhere. Yo, they're coming. End of the month. And I thought he was captain.
Now, here's the thing, too. Academics is making a really good point. Now that we're looking at this a year later, why was Wack 100 never questioned or brought up or anything in any type of legal ramifications? Considering the fact, like Academics is saying, Wack did make a very boisterous note to warn Big U that this situation was coming. That is aiding to the obstruction of a federal investigation which actually is a federal crime. So it does kind of lead you to wonder why Wack has never suffered any sort of legal ramifications for this.
So again, we're gonna see the real.
Still?
No, I thought then.
How many times have I capped?
Man, you didn't like him though. So plus, you're saying certain shit. I know you spoke to, or you had some information from the fam. Like this is like you should only know this if you're doing the investigation. But I get it. They told the people.
And here you have now academics kind of alluding to what he's already known. Like he's just making little slick comments like, "Oh, you should only know this if you're doing the investigation." It kind of went over our heads last year when it came out, but now that we're listening to it in more time and we see things that have transpired, like Wack being caught with a police badge since then, like excuse me, him having firearms and no jumpers recently as last week with Chunky Barbie, and there's been no anything from that by law enforcement. It kind of just goes to show that maybe there's something going on here to where he might have a get out of jail free pass somewhere tucked in the cut. You know what I'm saying? For some reason, the legal system just doesn't apply to Wack. I'm not really sure what that that reasoning would be, but it doesn't seem like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know.
So we're gonna get the real indictment very soon.
Yeah.
But the way they did it is usually to prevent. They did it to Dirk because Dirk was gonna board a plane.
Right. And I hesitate to even open this can of worms, but we have reason to be skeptical about your statements about Big U because you obviously co-signed Loose Cannon telling the story about how Big U basically got Nipsey killed or whatever.
We never said he got Nipsey killed.
Okay, but you're saying that he had.
Well, yeah, that conversation did happen, and that never was proven to be true. And again, looking at it in hindsight, that was one of the first mistruths that Loose Cannon and Wack could come to the internet with. It's kind of one of the bigger ones about the Nipsey Hussle situation. So, we did see that was immediately debunked and, even cost Adam a potential lawsuit. It's icky, Mickey, Vicky, sticky, and tricky, big dog. I'm not gonna lie.
Premeditated knowledge that Nipsey was going to get killed,
saying
and that didn't really pan out. Although a lot of people are now looking at those statements as if they might have a lot more validity than they once thought.
What are you talking about? Because
Well, here we are again, looking at this a year later, and the situation with Big U and Nipsey Hussle never grew legs. Nothing has come out to say or suggest that Big U had anything to do with the unalivement of Nipsey Hussle. So that situation at this point is just a conspiracy theory. It never grew legs. It never took root into anything. So, whatever.
You that says, that's my little brother. He was the face of the neighborhood. All I did was support and stand behind him. But on page 83, he says, what? I'm the biggest Rolling 60 come out. I'm even bigger than Nipsey Hussle. That's what he said, right?
I think that this would be a beautiful time to reference paperwork. Since Wack has brought it up, I will reference the exact same document that has just been updated since. Let's go over here. This is the same indictment that he's speaking on, but let's talk about an updated version of said indictment. Let's see this real quick. Boom.
I'm gonna jump right into this content on the chat. If you want to hear why I'm probably gonna end up whooping my co-coach and the
different things, but today we're gonna be focusing on the overt acts because there are certain overt acts that Big U felt like the government included in his indictment just as filler, kind of like fluff, Now, specifically, Big U would accuse the government of including a catch-all category in his indictment. This catch-all fear and control over community and victims category. He says that it relies on overt acts 106, 110, 111, and 145 through 170 generally. And he would list these overt acts and basically say that the omnibus category is too vague to permit meaningful notice and too broad to allow fair litigation. The government cannot admit a sweeping block of alleged overt acts generally as proof of fear, power, or control without identifying the specific evidence, witness, exhibit, and non-propensity purpose for each item. Basically, he's saying that, they are saying that they are trying to prove that he has.
Miles, let the chat. I got the timeouts. Don't come here asking stupid questions. Just chill out and watch. Don't come here asking dumb questions. And if you come here asking dumb questions, trying to run the chat,
why people were going along with the extortion. And he's saying that a lot of this stuff that, you know, y'all have put together doesn't even, you know, say anything. It's just a big group of stuff that doesn't even connect to the actual charges. He cites Rule 404B requiring a disciplined, item-by-item, propensity-free chain of reasoning, not a thematic narrative untethered to particular proof. Basically saying, hey, if y'all gonna have this stuff mentioned in my overt acts, then there needs to be some particular proof that, you know, ties me to these overt acts. Otherwise, y'all just throwing a bunch of allegations out there. Among those allegations is overt act number 155, which alleges that...
So they talking about Wack 100. Let me make sure I get this 100% right, Sean. Breaking news. Federal government acknowledges Big U is charged with assault on Wack 100.
On December 3rd.
So wait, do you hear what that said? Let's run that back one more time, because the question originally being posed by DJ Academics was, is Wack 100 involved in any of the paperwork in the ongoing Big U trial? That being said, Wack 100 quoted a situation where Big U was talking about Nipsey Hussle, so forth and so on. But in this same updated paperwork, and this paperwork comes from, let me see. When this came across, I think this might have been 2 months ago. Yeah, 2 months ago. So this is 10 months after the original content that we're watching, and this is where we are. So this is a pretty interesting update to watch as we continue to see the situation unfold between these two gentlemen. It's been made abundantly clear that whatever's going on with these guys is not going to stop anytime soon, considering the fact that now, as the documents are being updated, names are being included, names are being mentioned, and charges are being filed at the detriment of Big U, and at the safety of making sure Wack 100 continues to be able to move around as he should be able to move around without fear in this world, because we don't want to see anybody bullied or harassed in our space.
30th, 2022, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley said that when defendant Henley catches Wack 100, I'ma break his jaw. The defense response to this is a private statement of frustration.
So Wack is in Big U's paperwork as a victim. It's right here. Wack 100 is in Big U's paperwork as a victim. It is right here. Let's get back into it. Easy going. To the
not a threat communicated to Wack 100. There's no evidence that Wack 100 ever heard this statement, was placed in fear, or harmed. The government has not charged any assault on Wack 100. He would also include overt.
So there you have it. Wack 100 has not been charged with assault on Big U in any way, shape, form, or fashion, meaning Wack 100 did not accost or assault Big U in any way. And according to the government, it was quite the opposite of Big U accosting and, you know, getting more aggressive with Wack 100 than Wack 100 had gotten with him. So with that being said, you have to be very mindful and very aware of what's going on in these YouTube spaces and places, because you see that, you know, your safety, number one, and your freedom is all at risk when moving about in a certain type of way, in a certain type of manner. You feel me? When it comes to the situation with Wack and Big U, none of us saw this situation coming. But when it's all said and done, the paperwork is the paperwork, and the documents do state what the documents state. You know what I mean? There's no real way around that. You feel me?
Act number 160.
Hold on. Let's run this thing back just a little bit. Hold on.
This is a private statement of frustration, not a threat communicated to Wack 100. There's no evidence that Wack 100 ever heard this statement, was placed in fear, or harmed.
So Big U's lawyer is maintaining that because you heard him say that he wanted to break Wack 100's jaw on a wiretap, and Wack is named as a victim in the Big U paperwork, doesn't mean that Wack, now Big U's trying to pull like, oh, well, I mean, he was actually afraid of it. I mean, he's actually whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? But here's Wack in the paperwork, because Big U's now trying to fight, saying that he didn't mean it like that, or he ain't this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He ain't this, he ain't that. You know, he could have never seen it because Wack was named as a victim. Why would Big U's lawyer be trying to prove that he wasn't trying to do anything to Wack if Wack wasn't named as a victim? We watching it right here. It's right here. right here. Watch this right there. We can see it.
The government has not charged any assault on Wack 100. He would also include overt act number 164, which alleged that on January 12, 2023, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley said he wanted to beat the out of Wack 100. The defense response to this is the government has not.
This is a literal piece of evidence. Overt act number 164, exhibit C-58 to C-59. On January 12, 2023, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley said that he wanted to beat the SHIT out of Wack 100. This is literally Wack in the paperwork. It's the overt act number. It's the exhibit. It's everything you need. It's everything you need. Hold on. Let me get a screenshot of this. Hold on. Let me get a screenshot of this because niggas like to act like they don't see what they supposed to see. Hold on real quick. Hold on. Let me pause it. It's the paperwork right there. Where's Wack and Big U's paperwork? Right there. Right here. P-Nice. You was asking for it. Your Uncle Wack. His paperwork's right there.
Identified what action.
P-Nice never did speak up on this. P-Nice never did speak. 2 months later, P-Nice never did speak up on this.
If any followed, because none did. Expressing disapproval of an informant in a private conversation is not obstruction of justice, witness tampering, or a RICO predicate act. The government must.
Now keep it interesting. Why would Big U? Excuse me. Why would Big U's lawyer refer to Wack as an informant?
Prove did. Expressing disapproval of an informant in a private conversation is not obstruction of justice, witness tampering, or a RICO predicate act. The government must prove a specific criminal act, not.
So again, I think that it's interesting to note that Big U's lawyer is referring to Wack as an informant. We'll let this play for a little bit longer before we jump back into the original content, but we're just giving you guys an update of Big U and Wack 100. Where are they now? So they're acknowledging that Wack is a victim in the case, but that don't got nothing to do with the RICO. So you calling him a victim, and what I said I wanted to do with him, yeah, I said it. Yeah, it was gonna happen, or wookie bam this, but that ain't got nothing to do with this RICO though. One don't got nothing to do with the other. You feel me? Man, but you know what though? Here go the thing though. These niggas is gonna still defend. They gonna still defend their daddy Wack.
A cultural attitude. Still defend their daddy Wack. You know, we in support of this.
At this point, we're looking at it. I just gave y'all case numbers, exhibit numbers, and everything, and niggas are still be like, but, because niggas like to hang out with snitches. Come on, bro. Niggas like to hang out with snitches. We already know that. Hit the like button, run them likes up, hype up. You feel me? Niggas like to hang out with snitches. We've already known that. That's why Flacco still has friends. Niggas like to hang out with snitches. Niggas not gonna disassociate from Wack. Even though here's the thing too, and here we are a month later after all this, and people have not disassociated themselves with Wack. It's still ninjas hanging around with ninjas that be effing with the cops, and them ninjas that be effing with ninjas hanging with the cops. Since this situation, nothing has changed for Wack. Absolutely nothing has changed for this man. So, you know, there hasn't been any disassociation. There hasn't been any backlash. There hasn't been any recourse. There hasn't been any, I guess, for lack of better words, type of consequence from his community and or other communities. Nobody said anything. Everybody just kind of walking like they didn't know that this paperwork existed. The paperwork is right there. We're literally looking at it. Isn't it crazy how people off the same internet are so loud about his denials of the situation, but when the proof is there, everybody gets silent? Federal paperwork. They just niggas act like they didn't see it.
Big U would argue that the government may rely on the proposition that in conspiracy cases, it may prove the full scope of the conspiracy. That proposition, however, does not mean every uncharged act connected in some way to an alleged conspiracy or enterprise is automatically inextricably intertwined. Basically saying that every single thing that we done, all of this stuff that we not even charged with, is not automatically a part of the conspiracy or, you know, an extension of the conspiracy because y'all alleged that a conspiracy was going on at the same time that this was going on. Critically, even in the RICO context, the government must make an affirmative showing how proof of each incident it seeks to admit
constitutes proof of the scope of a charged conspiracy to avoid a Rule 404B analysis. So when you talking RICO cases, to avoid this 404B scrutiny, you have to show how all of these affirmative acts
are connected.
Constitute proof of what you are charging us with. You know, if you got
so me wanting to beat the SHIT out of Wack and Wack being a victim in the case does not actually constitute a RICO. It just says that I want to whoop Wack feet. There's no law against wanting to whoop Wack's feet. There's no law against wanting to whoop Wack's feet. I appreciate everybody. All right, man. So we're gonna go back into what we were originally talking about, but that's just kind of giving you a little bit of a background currently about what was going on in a past situation. But let's get back into this.
Hey, by the way, I do have a theory though. And I don't know if that's the same damn thing. You got a crystal ball or something. I'm just glad to be your friend, okay?
I got a crystal ball at home in form of R&B. Cheeks.
Dual crystal balls. Gotcha. Yeah, but I mean, in general, if you see an older gangster with a charitable organization, what percentage of the time is it just a scam so they could still be doing bullshit?
I ran with him for 17 years.
Not really, right?
Yeah.
So, considering the fact that you will admit that you ran with him for 17 years, it will kind of allude that maybe there's some things going on, because when it's all said and done, Loose Cannon maintained that he had a relationship with Big U, and then maintaining that he had a relationship with Big U. Loose Cannon's testimony is actually being taken onto the record of being close to Big U and being a right-hand man of Big U, and that's why his statements and testimonies are being taken a lot more serious than other people, because he is in fact acknowledging and admitting that he had intimate ties with this man on a criminal level. So you got to kind of pay attention to that as well too. Those are things that have come up that are detrimental to the situation with Big U for sure. Extremely detrimental. You know, again, it's a lot of things that people are ignoring. It's a lot of things that people aren't really talking about in this space. But, you know, these things are happening and these things are real within our space. So it's just, in my opinion, I think that it's pretty important that we all stay aware of these things that these guys have going on, man, because again, it is at the detriment of our community. And it is a detriment of our YouTube space. So, you know, I just think that it's kind of important that we all are watching this movie from the same lens and not kind of sweeping things under the rug that are important to note and note.
17.
We saw y'all publicly for a couple years, really.
No,
right?
that's you.
Yeah.
Big U came home in 04.
Okay.
Beat his son half to death. We bailed him out.
So you see, even with stuff like that, like none of that was ever like into a police report or anything like that. So not really sure why that's the subject of conversation on No Jumper, but all right.
Paid for his attorney. Reggie probably told you about that. If not, he'll tell you because he was around for it, right? Paid for his attorney. That's back when the Infinity QX56 version. We had the same matching car. Like you wouldn't know if it was him or me, right? 17
twinsies
years we ran, right? 17 years. He would tell people, Wack got the key to my front door. That's why I told Brick, hey, Brick, I've never seen you in my life. I never seen you at Crenshaw High. I never seen you at the funerals. I helped him bury a bunch of dudes over there. I never seen you at his crib, at the office. I never seen you. You didn't come out to all the video shoots, all these radio events we was having. How the West was won. Me and my boy AD created that. Crush Groove, we created that. I had contracts with Nick Masters at Live Nation. I would cut Big U in so Bro could eat because we were showing him how to hustle in the industry. Or he left, he wasn't in the industry. It was Key to Rock from 6-0. It was S-Mac from 6-0.
So all these things really have nothing to do with the conversation, but we'll keep going.
Industry guys, right? There was no Big U. So when he came home, we embraced him, set him at the table, and we plugged him everywhere. This is why when I stepped away from him, all the industry went away from him.
You really feel like that?
That's a fact.
Everybody stopped going
Go
with
to
you.
2021.
I feel like a lot of people think it was the inverse of that, where a lot of people stopped going with you.
Who, me?
Yeah.
My plugs ain't stopped. You know that.
Definitely felt like you became a lot more controversial in the industry because of that.
Because of what?
No, a lot of things that Wack are doing now are very lackluster. You haven't seen Wack with a real $1 million deal in quite some time. We haven't seen Wack do anything that's, of a major level in quite some time. Blueface is doing kind of like hole in the wall tours, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, get your chili how you get your chili, but you know, Blueface isn't really excelling as he once did. The whole Blueface universe is kind of like just gone at this point. When it comes to him being a rapper, at least, I think that he's a hell of an entertainer, but when it comes to the rap aspect of Blueface, it's not really there. When it comes to everything else, you know, Wack has whatever he has going on R&B, blah, blah, blah. Not really sure how that's going on. That's his personal business. I'm not really seeing too much going on that would say that Wack is wildly successful in anything right now.
Because of you and Big U going to war.
Bro, no,
I don't take it as that.
I think
crazy.
it's vice
Y'all
versa.
I think it's vice versa.
I was
maybe
always,
streetwise.
bro, he had no contracts, right? His only artist that got a deal, me and Game, got him the deal. He screwed it up, right? You got a dude that's struggling to try to keep his home from getting taken and all this other crazy stuff. Wack was all DJ K Slade. That's me.
And I think that Wack is not really answering the questions because he knew that certain things were going to come up and he knew that certain things were going to be, you know, a problem within this case that he has. And it's very interesting to see him kind of divert from questions and divert from situations that are directly in front of him. You know, it's really strange.
We put him with T.I. S-Mac plug. All my artists on my side. When he needed scooty bikes for the kids giveaway, who supplied them? Yo, could you get Game to promote my football league? Who got that done? Right? Yo, could you help me? Could Nip go on tour? Who got that done? Let's talk about it. Like, bro, he has no real connects in the industry. Zero.
And you've always kind of been resentful of the fact that people treat him as if he's kind of on your level.
I'm not resentful that he ain't got more money.
Everybody can kind of see at this point that there was a resentment between Adam 22 and Big U. Everybody's clearly able to see what's going on. Everybody's clearly able to see that Wack is having a hard time with Big U's success and the amount of love and respect that he's getting. As you can see, Adam kind of hinting at it. You know, Wack is just kind of blah, 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 blah. And we can see now again, too, as the year has progressed, these conversations, these statements only became louder from Wack.
To me, he ain't got no he has no plaques. He don't have no resources. He has no stamps in the passport. What are you talking about?
Yeah, look at it completely different. Like, I
He's
feel
not
like
on my level with no damn music industry.
Wack's like one of the most
That's
influential voices.
I mean, Big U hasn't had successes in the entertainment world. People act like he does, but there's
because
no real
we
receipt
put it
for
around him.
He did like one documentary style show.
That was my show.
Right.
I gave it to him. They begged me for 18 months. That's the homie from Compton Paul Rue show, Jim Bob. Jim Bob came to me for 18 months. Him and one of the Writers for Power, begging me to do it. I didn't want to do it. No disrespect, because I didn't want the segment to end with music with me. I always told myself when I do that type of style thing, I want to have my other thing going on, right? Which like now I could do it, because it's going on, right? But I said, Jim, Bob, no disrespect, that's a G homie. But I said, go ahead, Big U, do it. He'll eat it up. He looking for the light.
Wait, let me ask you a couple questions, because I ain't gonna lie. It was reading through the entire indictment, I was fucking flabbergasted of just how accurate. And I'm not gonna lie, you said these things, and all these niggas gaslit you. They were like, "What are you talking about? What AK case? What this?" Nigga, I'm reading through the shit. I'm like, this nigga Wack is on the money.
June 23rd, 2023.
But how do you find out about that, though?
Okay, I'm gonna keep it 100. Did I tell how I found out about it?
Whatever you want to say.
Okay. A certain person's wife is intimate with a Paru. You know it's the truth. Paru, dead homies. When I come off it, I'll FaceTime him.
So that's how you really found out?
Nigga, when he went to...
So Wack is trying to say that I've had my passport longer than Wack and I'm 35. Come on, man. Shout to Strong Eye Roll. He's talking about Brick Baby. But again, too, we're negating that he's actually in this paperwork, and that's actually what the conversation is. So Wack's moving the goalpost to about, you know, Brick Baby and all these other things, when the conversation is in fact about him being a cooperant in this situation that he's found himself in, or, you know, they're alluding to. So it seems like Trap Lord Ross, academics, and Adam 22 were all aware of this, and now they're just trying to get Wack to admit it.
Jail, she called her significant other.
I think it was like an ex-boyfriend.
Ain't no ex-boyfriend, because I know my homeboy and I know his situation, right? It's Lil John's homie. Lil John know I'm talking about. He's a very well-known dude. He's tied to a bunch of people, right? So when he went, I get the call. He said, hey, you know, that boy called up, said, who that? Whoop. I said, how you know? He said, you know. I said, oh, okay. You serious? He said, yeah, I'm going to send you his info. They come in, they catch him with a K. She gonna know because she at home. They catch him with a K. This how I knew. This is why when Brick was saying in one of these rooms, having a tantrum, I don't know how Cosby knowing he on some police shit. That's because, nigga, you got a leak.
Yeah, but then here's the thing, too. As we've learned, as we look at this from a year ago, that actually ended up not being true. And it was alluded that the same way Wack was getting all his other information by way of, you know, different reports alluding to cooperation from informants can lead to them being able to break certain laws. They were saying that that's how Wack was able to kind of get certain things accomplished and able to get certain things done, because by having that, you know, kind of anonymity from that type of situation would allow you to kind of move around or be preview to certain pieces of information that the average person would not and otherwise know.
In your waterbed. I don't wake up and say, the day while he was still in there, I'm on Clubhouse saying it.
Not gonna lie, man.
Yeah, it's crazy how like all these things ended up being disproven, and then like the truth, you see how loud the lies are, but when the truth comes out, nobody really is speaking too crazily about it. Like, so this was a big episode, man. Let me see how many numbers this did. This did almost 1 million. This almost did almost 1 million views. This did almost 1 million views, and it's a lot of mistruths in these statements. It's a lot of falsehood in these statements, and it just kind of makes you wonder why, after almost 1 million views, we haven't gotten retractions or at least an update in this situation, because, again, like 1 million people almost cared to watch this. 1 million, like really think about this, bro. 1 million people cared to watch this situation. 1 million people gave a damn about what the situation was. And we have not gotten so much as a retraction, an update, or anything from these guys when it comes to this situation. And it just kind of makes you almost wonder, is there like an attempt to protect Wack? Like what's really going on? Because again, I can't imagine why something that touched 1 million people, just for the sake of their own content, would you not want to revisit this or retouch this for an update?
I called the date. I called the date, the year. I told you what caliber.
And let me ask you, you know, actually, I got a question for Adam on
the date, the year, the caliber. That is incredible. To know the type of caliber of weapon that Brick Baby had, that is incredible. And for the record, Brick Baby never got caught with an AK-47. He got caught with a Hell Pup, which is, look at it.
Because like even reading the whole thing in this is what they call the Big U Enterprise. And even when Brick Baby comes up here to work, even certain conversations being allowed on this platform, he ever pull you to the side, like, again, not saying that it would be the cause of it, but it's exacerbating it, right? It's so adding context, like
all
where
the time.
Y'all are coming in here and y'all are literally I mean, there's a part where they're like, "Hey, we knew this," but then on the No Jumper podcast, they corroborated it, and I'm like,
no, definitely. And just because I have it pulled up, I really want to just play this one clip that has been going kind of viral. That's like generally considered to be like the most federal clip that anybody on the podcast has ever had. This is Loose Cannon.
Basically, it's like,
and it's crazy because again, now we're looking at this in a year later. This content has led to indictments. This content has led to a lot of guys in jail, and people be like, "Oh, Trap, you tripping." But if we're looking at it in actuality and tangibility, this content has people looking at life sentence. You know, it's been a year. And a lot of these guys still haven't come home. A lot of these guys are still sitting, kind of waiting to see what's going to happen with them, trying to figure out, you know, how to decide their fate.
Cause he'll be like he'll
talking about Big U
things like we'll go and do something, and the same niggas we do it to show up to the house like 10 minutes later when we trying to, you know, counting everything, right? And we be like, how the f***
Now, keep in mind, this situation is also in the indictment because Big U's being charged with this robbery of this dispensary, and this is the robbery that they're outlining. This is the whole shebang right here. This is the whole robbery shebang like a Drake song.
Don't get that. Oh well, we're gonna just give them like $40,000 back and stuff like that. But cuz it's actually putting us in paperwork, right? And like doing like real police shit. I seen the nigga get like 20 guns, and when he got 20 guns, he's selling them to the homies. But I'm like, why are you writing down the serial numbers?
Like, again, these are all things that are now being used in the indictment. So as you sit here and you see Wack encouraging Loose Cannon to say these things, no, Wack is not the one saying these things. No, Wack is not the one putting this information out, but you are encouraging the information to be put out and you're instigating the information to be put out. So one could say that you did benefit, even if it's on the level of the hater, as this information coming out. Now, you didn't put it out. I can't blame you for what Loose Cannon misspoke on. And Loose Cannon's misspeakings or Loose Cannon's misspeakings, they are what they are. But when the reality of the situation hits, we can't negate the fact that Wack did cheerlead this conversation in order for Big U to eventually receive this indictment.
So it's like he was doing like shit like that, and I didn't catch on. So it was like,
and considering the fact that now we see that the Novo situation was prior to this interview happened after the Novo situation. Big U in the Novo situation where Wack was accosted is actually something that Big U's being charged with. It is safe to say by assumption, this is no fact, but it is safe to say by assumption that Big U could have led Loose Cannon or cheerleader Loose Cannon into this situation for a revenge situation, for a revenge plot. We were looking at the situation a year later, and we saw the Noble situation happen first, and now we have Loose Cannon on No Jumper telling this crazy story, which led to his own indictment. It's very easy to assume that Wack did have some sort of distaste for Big U, which led to this situation coming out as maybe a revenge.
I'm waking up now. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm his right hand man. You get what I'm saying? So when it came down to like dirt and stuff like that, I'm gonna get it. You get what I'm saying? And then like
people are pretty astonished because almost that exact thing is listed in
now
the
let me go back to what you asked me.
Conversation.
Yeah.
This is why when Loose Cannon was calling me about what 600 was doing, I'm looking at the phone like, you can't be serious. 600 then made a video with him saying what he was saying 2 seconds later and put that. So you're calling me about what 600 is saying. Brody, have you forgot the things you said?
So basically, though, they both was admitting that they were saying police shit.
600 wasn't saying police shit because
he was trying to contradict it. He was trying to say
600 was reporting what was on the internet. That wasn't on the internet.
So basically, the difference between 600 and Loose Cannon is who said it. Because it definitely seems like in this situation, both things have led to indictments. So it would seem like 600 would be held to the same level of, for lack of better words, responsibility, even though that's a very loosely used word in this situation, as Loose Cannon.
That's his own personal story that he lived.
I know how to protect my team. How did it get to the internet? I made sure it went to the proper stages of getting into the internet. I ran a clubhouse room.
I made sure I went through the proper stages of getting it to the internet. Goodness gracious.
I played snippets, had my media team tape it, clip it, send it to YouTube, and I sent you 600. Now you can talk about it. It's on the internet.
All right, so Wack, when you hearing stories of Loose saying.
So here's how it's sick. Listen to what Wack said. It was on the internet because I put it on the internet and I clipped it up and I made sure that it was available for my team to clip up. And I sent it to 600, and now it's on the internet. That's an admission of I don't want to use the word the S word that everybody's so about, but you put something on the internet with the intention of it being for police or for understanding that it's of a criminal nature. You set it up to where it was used on a Clubhouse app that was recorded with the intention of going on YouTube. You at that point send that information to 600 so he can use that information on YouTube from Clubhouse. That is incredible. That is incredible right there, man. That is a level of incredible that I've yet to have ever seen from anyone. That is absolutely like, chat. Do y'all see? That is sick.
Shit like that. So you didn't have.
That ain't my business.
No, but you didn't have any clue that he could be caught up in this RICO or anything that was going on.
How would I have? I had no idea.
I think Luz thought he was kind of
I had no.
And that's the thing about
Lutz thinks that because it was 2-3 years ago, like oh, he got 20 guns. It's like it just sounds like he's talking bullshit. But when the feds are actually able to put the case together and show that this is the type of thing they were actually doing, all of a sudden these podcasts become very important.
Know what they're keying on in that?
What?
When he says
all of a sudden, when they're able to put these things together, these podcasts become very important. Shout out to Adam22 for realizing Giving Life. What's the deal, bro? Shout out to Adam22 for realizing the severity of this situation. I think that Adam's the only one that's really taking this situation serious. We all know that for academics and Trap Lord Ross, it's nothing but entertainment. We all know. But Trap Lord Ross is just entertainment. It's just entertainment for Trap Lord Ross. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
I'm his right-hand man. See, Luce's case, the robbery has nothing to do with Big U. What they're doing is they got this guy. They got sex trafficking. They got extortion. They got a murder. And they got some wire fraud, all that
and
stuff.
Same
right?
things with Brick is that none of his charges are actually related to Big U as of
But
yet.
what the Big U...
And then, so with the situation with Brick Baby, he actually is not charged to anything related to Big U at all. Even to date, Brick Baby has still yet to be charged with anything related to Big U or the Big U enterprise. Brick Baby has his own situations going on, but he is, again, not in fact connected to these RICOs or anything like that. Brick Baby has maintained anonymity throughout these whole situations, throughout these whole things. So a lot of times dudes like, oh, Brick Baby this, Brick Baby that, Brick Baby this, Brick Baby that. It hasn't proven that Brick Baby's anything outside of just making bad decisions on the internet. But outside of that, he hasn't been to do anything wrong.
And Luce have in common. They're all from Rolling Sixes. And guess what? Brick's situation and Luce's situation independently involves the same guy that was being extorted. So they're saying you were operating for Big U doing these things.
Yeah.
The same guy, Dale.
Well, you know, I think that Wack is so interested in cutting people off in this situation because when it comes down to what's actually going on, it seems like Adam and academics are very aware of, you know, everything that we're aware of. You feel me? But no, you feel me?
Monster annoying, right? That Big U sent Sylvester Vest over there to pick up $1,000 every week of the Fed's money. You read that, right?
From the dispensary guy.
From the dispensary guy, right? The same guy that was going on with.
So again, Wack is quoting. No, this is not new. This is actually from a year ago. Strong eye roll. I'm just doing a recap because I thought that it was interesting that this video has almost had 1 million views, but nobody has done a recap of. Excuse me. This situation is kind of like a where are they now? You feel me? I'm kind of like doing like a where are they now? But I thought that was extremely interesting that nobody has gone over this or nobody has gone through this, considering the fact that this is one of the bigger stories in our universe. So I thought that, you know, the world would want to recap as here we are.
It is the same guy that legitimately had issues with these two men that had nothing to do with that. They had nothing to do with what they didn't know Big U was even doing that. But when he says I'm his right-hand man, they saying, okay, 606060, Best 60, and Best ain't even a gang member. Bear Claw 60, right? And we got one target, the same dude. Well, you did that. Now, we ain't gonna say it's independent. We're gonna say you did that because they was doing that. Yeah. And we're gonna call this the Big U enterprise, which is some bullshit. When the realest thing Big U said on his turn-in little videos was, Loose Cannon, Brick Baby, or not Brick Baby.
He said, Loose Cannon, I don't really fuck with him. Brick Baby, I don't really fuck with him.
But he fucks with Brick Baby.
Well, he said he does.
He did say, and the
I
video
don't think he fucks with Brick Baby. Do we fuck with Brick Baby?
Yes.
That's a fact.
Wait, he denounced
No,
it?
no, he
denounced Brick Baby.
In his
really?
exit
But he
video,
fucks with it. But Loose, he.
See, here's the thing though. Now, if we're gonna talk about the exit video, we're gonna hold the exit video as Bible. The same exit video, he said that 600 and Wack were a part of his indictment and a part of the reason why he suffered that indictment. So if we're gonna hold that we're gonna hold that as Bible. I'm not mad at holding it as Bible. I'm not mad at holding it as Bible, but let's hold it as Bible. You feel me? Let's hold it all the way as Bible, because if it's Bible, then it's Bible. But if it's not, then, you know, whatever the case may be is whatever the case may be. If it's not Bible, it's not Bible. But if it's biblioteca, then it's biblioteca. You feel me?
He don't.
I mean, but it is alleged that, and that's why I'm so surprised that if I'm Brick Baby and I feel like him and you have a close personal relationship, I'm either quitting or I'm telling you
bro.
no more conversation about
bro.
me.
No,
like,
no.
He definitely needs to be careful.
It's alleged that he would rob somebody and then have these conversations. And first of all, they were tapping Big U's phone. And they break it down with him, which is pretty much kind of like extortion.
I don't think Brick was doing any of that stuff while he was working here. I'm gonna be real with you.
Okay, but if you've done it in the past, why would you ever talk about that man's crimes? If your crimes are linked to his,
feel like if they get away with it for a few weeks, they're safe.
Brick never wanted to talk about it.
If me and you used to rob stores back in the day, and then now I'm on a podcast, and people want to talk about your robbing history, and maybe we're talking about you robbing stores in over there, and I never robbed stores. I don't want to talk about you robbing stores. If we used to do something of the sort, that's why I'm so surprised that I thought Brick like maybe didn't have anything to do with it. I mean, again, obviously these are allegations, but kind of reading, I'm like, I don't know.
What did Brick say on your show?
Can't be that good.
When I asked him about the AK case, he said what? It was dismissed in Compton Court. Ain't that what he said?
Well, too bad that there never was an AK case, but whatever.
I said, what's up with that AK case? You called June 23rd, 20.
You said
it was dismissed as DA reject. No, it ain't, Brick. The feds got it, along with the cell phone. So now you got to ask yourself, if I got caught with that, right? I'm going to be like, yo, bro, I got caught. They ain't gave me a court date. I'm not going to hide it.
By the way,
that's the reason why you hiding.
By the way, people think that you're the cop for that, but in reality,
what?
No. In reality, that's just being smart. It's the same thing with Zay Osama when he got caught with the switch in the Uber and New York picked it up and dropped it. And he's like, I remember he dissed me. He was like, yo, I told you they ain't had nothing on me. And then the feds came right, like, come on. Like, that's just
you
usually
listen what I'm saying. Right? Compton Court never had it. The feds has always had it. Day one.
So Wack is saying that Brick Baby's case was dropped by the Compton Court because they knew that the feds knew that they were going to pick it up. So with that all being said, let me see where this ends off for the last 2 minutes, and then we'll take it back to the paperwork that I was going over, and then we'll kind of wrap it up from there.
He knew that. But why'd you lie? Because you know you got that sealed file over there about Sue Surf them in Jersey.
What did Brick ever have to do with them? You think Brick is in some way
Big U too? He had a sealed file. The exposers, Prince, Lavish, pulled it up. We tracked the case number back to Sue Surf them. First, we thought it was some Dirk shit. It's not Dirk shit. He got a sealed file, dope case, New Jersey. It's the same shit. Indictment, Sue Surf them. I know it is. Nigga, this we the exposers, bro. That's a clubhouse thing. Let's straighten that out too. The exposures come from clubhouse on the side.
Okay, so that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I wanted to go into this.
I want you to question me right now, right?
I appreciate it.
This is the same interview. We have Trap Lord Ross going into, whatever. Anyone who runs this kind of content like this, Wack, including anyone who runs content on Wack like this, lame, including Wack, needs to be put on an island with transmission and locked up for the rest of their lives. Says Driving with Dumber and Dumber, who's watching the content. So make sure you guys get on the boat that Dumber and Dumber is driving because he wants you to go to Transmission Island with him. Shout out to Dumber and Dumber. We love you here.
You did some punk shit the other day. See, the only difference is you usually do what you did the other day sitting over there in London somewhere, right? And you're not here, right? It's a lot of places you can't go. You send Adam something as if it was a clip of something I did I wasn't supposed to do.
No, he sent me a screenshot of a page from the indictment.
Okay, that's cool.
Where Big U was recorded on a wiretap, basically saying that he punked you out with a whole bunch of people, and it had a quote that he attributed to you, but it wasn't an actual video or recording. This was Big U's version of events.
Hold on.
So let's go back to actually this, because Adam is actually bringing up what is brought up in this video, the paperwork that we were just looking at. Let's go back and take it to this. I appreciate everybody in the chat, man. We got all the people in here. Hit the likes up, throw them stickers, super chats, all that kind of stuff. Show some love. Subscribe, hit the like, hit the hype, all that kind of stuff. You feel me? But with that all being said, there's no law against wanting to whoop Wack 100's feet. So if you want to... So this is actually what they were talking about when Big U was in the paperwork saying that he wanted to whoop Wack's feet. This is literally what Adam is talking about. When it's all said and done, we're seeing where the situation is taking Big U. We're seeing where the situation is going. But like he said, this is what Trap Lord Ross gave to Adam what Adam swore wasn't real. I'm sorry, what Wack swore wasn't real. But here we have now the update where we can see that it was in fact proven to be a real
Charge me with a RICO. How does me wanting to whoop Wack?
Given life, what's the deal?
How does me wanting to whoop Wack 100's feet, who's named as a victim, as we just saw in the case, how does that correlate? How does that correlate to money laundering and not?
Yeah, and then for those of you guys just tuning in, this isn't new content. This is just an update of where are we now. I'm going back with that viral. Almost had probably over 1 million views on the No Jumper platform, where it was Adam 22, Remo, Trap, Laura Ross, Academics, Adam, and Wack that have now very infamous conversation. I'm just going over it to kind of see like where we are now versus where we were when the conversation happened. And considering the fact that it was such a big thing and such a viral moment within our atmosphere, I thought that it was important that we just kind of got an update on that, man. So let's keep going.
Paying the government back this money, and then you want to say that I caught this body in Vegas and all that kind of stuff. What does whooping Wack's feet have to do with any of that? You got to make it make sense to the RICO. Unless the feds have a sick sense of humor and they just wanted us to know that Wack is in big use paperwork.
Overact saying, you know, I threatened to break Wack 100's jaw, then you need to have a thoroughly presented breakdown.
You know what's crazy? Man, my man just said the realest thing. Let's see. Who said this? Flex the Flash. Let's see who bring this up. Society.
Flex the Flash, you been in the chat.
This is gonna be deafening loud. Bro, we know that these niggas watch my channel and then literally go and copy the exact same thing that I was talking about and all that kind of shit. So we know that. We know that these niggas will just scroll through my channel. That's what Rich Trapper's talking about. Okay, let me go find a clip and make the comment or reaction about the exact same thing. We already know that. Why they never copy this? Why they never copy this kind of stuff? These niggas watch my content. We all know they do. We've seen it. You feel me? We've all seen niggas copy exactly what I'm doing. Damn near, I'll post, and then 5 minutes later, this nigga's posting about the same thing. But come on, my nigga.
And you know what's crazy? We have yet to hear, like I said in this video that I made 2 months ago, we've yet to hear anybody in this space actually make any videos or any conversation about this. Everybody's acting like they're unaware and they haven't seen it or don't know about this type of content.
We all see this shit. Why they never copy this shit? Why we never talk about the flu flammery, the skullduggery, or the larceny? It's a bunch of skullduggery. The duggery.
Racketeering acts or acts in furtherance of the conspiracy and fails to provide 404B notice, the court should exclude the evidence. So he's saying, hey, if these acts are not, if we not charged with this, and they not saying that this was done in furtherance of the conspiracy or that it's not an actual racketeering act, then y'all should not allow this in. And in closing on this paragraph, he says that where uncharged acts are sufficiently disjointed from the charged pattern of racketeering activity, they cannot be deemed inextricably intertwined.
Derek, that can't be true because you're in my comments, so you're clearly my biggest fan. That can't be true. You're in my comments. You're my biggest fan.
Twined and must be subjected to the strictures of Rule 404B. Furthermore, the use of uncharged acts to prove a RICO conspiracy raises acute jury instruction and jury unanimity issues, making it hard for the jury to be unanimous. And as the jury may properly rely on non-predicate overt acts to reach a verdict. In other words, when you're bringing in a bunch of stuff that we haven't been charged with, you may confuse the jury and have them relying on something that we haven't been charged with as just an overt act. And they may end.
Okay, so him having Wack as, you know, one to whoop Wack feet and Wack being a victim in the paperwork is an overt act. It's not an actual criminal charge. So, yeah, Wack is in the paperwork as a victim. Yeah, Wack.
All right, man. So we'll go back to what we were talking about with Trap Laura Ross. But that's just to kind of give you an understanding of what led us into this situation, because the situation with Trap Laura Ross is a very interesting one. But let's kind of slide back over here because I know that he's going to actually fire Wack up pretty vigorously. So let's get into this. You feel me? Chat, Derek needs attention. So y'all give Derek attention, chat.
Oh, hold on, you're the receiver. So since you read everything, right? Tread lightly with this. Because I've been telling myself for the last couple minutes not to really do nothing to you because I know what you was trying to do. Okay. So since you so thorough, did you read what Big U said he did to me? No, either you go.
Why are you yelling at Trap Lord Ross so aggressively? Since you so thorough. Trap Lord Ross, since you so thorough.
Play smart or dumb. Did you read it?
Yes. Can I say one
What
thing?
did you
Can I say
find
one thing in my
there
defense first?
That's the bullshit and the real shit.
But can I say one thing in my defense
I
first?
just want to know what you read.
I feel like stuff that Adam said that he put source on top of. I just sent him an image of the indictment and said, "Have you seen this?" You went in the room and you said a bunch of stuff.
No, you said in that page.
Added on.
You said in that page. So I'm asking you, you're just gonna let me know where you at with me.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read that and did you use your brain to understand why and why not? So I'm a dude that has violated Big U like no other human being, right? Violated him.
For sure.
2-3 years, right?
That's such a claim to fame now that Big U is like the ultimate bad guy of LA.
No.
Him being able to say that he violated is like him saying he went up against Al Capone.
No.
To tell the tale.
No, you got to remember, I don't see Big U the way y'all see Big U.
I know.
Big U done sat on my couch with his head down, scared straight in situations where he needed our help at. I don't see him that way.
Not really 100% true. Not really 100% true because that situation at the Novo, as we clearly saw, you were scared, big dog.
I had to pay rent and help take care of his family who then sat on my couch and said, help me. I don't see that dude as that, right? But if you read that, right, it says we was 15, 20 deep, right? And we caught him. And he was by himself, right? You do know I jumped out on them. You do know I wasn't walking. I'm in a car with 800 horsepower in it, right? I'm very capable of whatever, right? You do know my homeboys was adjacent to them, but they had no idea they was there, right?
The Henny Man.
Right?
That's new information.
You do understand that, right?
I'm here.
He's
Big
screaming.
No, this is my fault.
Big Ack, how you living? Oh my God.
Now we got Mount Podmore right here, bro.
Hello,
We said
hello,
you in the
Shay.
middle.
How you doing? First time meeting.
Come on.
IRL.
Hold on. We got to get to this right here.
He's trying to pack
Sit
out
down.
Trap Lord right now.
Yeah,
we need a judge.
Hold on.
We need someone to litigate this
No,
situation.
hold on. Watch this.
I'm glad I'm here at ground zero, man. This roll the indictments.
Watch this. So let me give it to you, right?
Smell like police donuts up in here, man. I brought my badge too. Y'all said this the Fed Avengers. They got me. They got Adam. They got Black.
Mount Podmore.
Shout out to the new recruit, Remo.
He the undercover.
So listen.
He the worst undercover.
Hold on. Let's get back to it,
They said
right?
the undercover had a stutter.
Oh, the undercover had a stutter?
Actually, no. Won't you read it?
Look, I just feel like
So basically, Trap Lord Ross never really did get to get his ish off. Trap Lord Ross never really did get to get his ish off. Wack just pretty much just overspoke him the entire time.
I feel like I will read it. I'll read it. I'll read it. Can I say something before I read it? Because it's very important.
I want you to read it.
All right, I'll read it.
I want to see how
I'll
smart
read
you
it,
are.
and then I'll give what I thought of it, and then I'm going to repeat what Adam said about it.
I want a dramatic reading.
You spun it crazy.
I want you to read it dramatically.
Hey, third, y'all out there?
Before y'all get to that,
I'm gonna expose something
Don't bring
that
up
I
the Coima
never
out.
exposed.
Yo, Wack,
Oh wow, okay.
I'm so glad you're my friend because all your options go to jail, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh.
Man. All your ops go to jail. All your ops go to jail, man. I'm a fan of this. I am a fan of this. All your ops go to jail. Academics, everybody's kind of pointing out the fact that they know that Wack is helping law enforcement in this situation, but nobody really wants to just pretty much just flat out say it. But everybody's throwing little hints and tips and tricks like, hey, this nigga work with the police.
All your ops, every nigga don't like you, they going down in the ball of flame, man.
This doesn't make sense. Like, when I say this don't make sense like watching somebody's YouTube channel and then calling them the main character when you're watching their YouTube channel. It just doesn't make sense. But you know what? It's turkey nuts, bro. And you know what doesn't make sense? Turkey nuts, because turkey don't got nuts. So it's just turkey nuts. And we'll just accept the turkey nutsivity of the situation.
Yo, Wack's my friend. I'm telling you.
Go ahead, read it.
I'm
on him for doing his weird shit. Go ahead.
Henley recounted to victim one, and this is on a wiretap, right? So bear in mind, this is very important. This is Big U bragging about doing this on a wiretap to somebody else.
On the phone.
Not knowing that he's being listened to, right?
Read it.
Henley recounted to victim one an incident in which Henley and Rolling 60s gang members chased down Wack 100, attempting to hurt him. Quote, there's 15...
Now, we saw that in the beginning of the video. That's that video in the beginning that we showed where Wack was being ran off of the stage at the Novo. And we do know that now Big U is being federally charged with assault, as Wack being the victim for that situation.
To 20 dudes with us with hoodies tied down. I got my hoodie on, all black, tied down. She like, boom, she jumped in the car, paid for, redacted, and then took off. Boom, this dude screaming. My wife, drawers. I see you, Eugene. I see you. Eugene Henley, I see you. He's screaming all of that. He's got his blower. His blower's out.
Allegations.
But he's messed up. I gotta read the whole thing. But he's messed up because nobody's around. We like, bitch ass dude. I'm like, yeah, bitch ass dude. He's like, he's like, redacted, die here, man. Don't do this. My wife, my kids in that car. Drawers, don't do this. He's screaming.
Now, you tell
he was about to turn.
So again, let's take it back to this, because this is actually the result of that. I'm taking it back to this document that I keep referencing. When it's all said and done, it's all blah 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 blah. Derek, you need 5 minutes, bro. You're too invested. We're gonna give Derek 5 minutes to calm down. Let's take it back to this. Give me 1 second. We're gonna, because Derek doesn't understand the difference between trying to make his point that we allowed him to make and being annoying. So let's keep going.
Yeah, Wack is in the paperwork as a victim.
So this is the situation in question that Trap Lord Ross is discussing. And this is where Big U made the statement, and the feds were saying, you know, well, long story short, you are being charged with this. It's no longer a count of, I forget the word. An overt account. It's no longer an overt act. It's now an official case.
But nigga, that's an overt act. That ain't no criminal charge. You can't charge me for that because I want to whoop somebody's feet. You feel me?
But again, keep in mind, Trap Lord Ross said that Big U is in the paperwork acknowledging that he wants to whoop Wack's feet. And now we are reading the paperwork from a year later where Big U is being accosted by the court system for the same statement.
You can't charge me because I want to break somebody's jaw. So he can't, yeah, he a victim in the paperwork, but man, so what? You can want to whoop somebody. I want to go whoop out the nigga I coach the kids' football team with right now. You can't charge me with a crime for that. I ain't did nothing. You feel me?
They're finding us guilty on that. Now, the government would respond to Big U, and they would say that the fear and control category encompasses charged overt acts that are direct evidence. They would go on to say the defendant's motion challenges dozens of overt acts alleged in the first superseding indictment, styled as Rule 404B concerns. That framing is backwards. The government is entitled to prove the overt acts charged in its own indictment. These are not uncharged other acts. They are part of the charged RICO conspiracy, and proof of charged overt acts requires no 404B justification. Now, the reason I was emphasizing uncharged in the last stuff that I was reading from Big U is because I was seeing that they were locked in on that. He kept saying, y'all saying I threatened Wack 100. I'm not charged with that. Y'all saying that I said I wanted to beat up Wack 100. I'm not charged with that. The government is now coming back and saying that, yes, you are. The fear and control.
Big U is being charged with wanting to whoop Wack 1. Tendernism. Pick the blind up, put the blind down, pick the blind up, put the blind down, pick the blind up, put the blind down. Big U is Reg Dog. Big U has officially been charged with man, Wack is a victim in the case. I said it. I told y'all. Wack was a victim in the case. Nigga, I beat the feds, nigga. I beat the feds, nigga. I keep trying to tell you niggas, bro. I beat these niggas. And I never fucked up again in life, nigga. I got off by the skin of my teeth. Nigga, I beat these niggas, bro. I told y'all. Hold on, let me write it back. Let me put the thing down, flip it and reverse it.
Reading from Big U is because I was seeing that they were locked in on that. He kept saying, y'all saying I threatened Wack 100. I'm not charged with that. Y'all saying that I said I wanted to beat up Wack 100. I'm not charged with that. The government is now coming back and saying that, yes, you are. The fear and control category that Big U was talking about encompasses charged overt acts that are direct evidence. Again, it says these are not uncharged other acts. They are part of the RICO conspiracy, and proof of charged overt acts requires no 404B justification. So, long story short, Big U is charged with assaulting Wack 100. It says it right here in the paper.
Big U is charged with assaulting Wack 100. I didn't make it up. But when I said it, niggas wanted to take shots at my character. Oh, niggas drug my name through the mud to hide this shit, bro. Niggas drug my name through the mud. Niggas lied. Niggas tried, oh, he was trapper. He was he was Listen, my nigga, this is what they didn't want me to talk about, bro. Okay, so with that being said, let's take it back to Trap Lord Ross. Oh, bro, my barber in Atlanta was a dude, bro. I ain't been right since I left. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't been right since I left. And low key, I'm not even gonna front, bro. I'm thinking about just getting the top of my head tatted. You know, I got the whole whatever. Thinking about just go ahead and get the top tatted, and I'm just go ahead and just take it all off, bro. I ain't had a good cut since I left Atlanta. I ain't gonna lie. The dude in Atlanta used to have me chopped. My nigga in Atlanta used to have me chopped. Boy, that nigga used to have me chopped, boy. But hey, man. Let's keep going, though.
About to turn you into
I want to see how smart you are. I've been violating him for 2 years. Violating him, calling him rats, snitches. He came up there 20 deep to get me, right? And he's telling me some word. What stopped him from fucking with me?
So, look. No, this is important. I'm about to give you this. Yeah. Let me get to it. My interpretation of this, me personally, and bear in mind, my interpretation wasn't put out there. Adam hopped on the live and said, No. This is so crucial.
I want you to tell me.
Because I'm going to get to mine. Mine's okay. Adam hopped on there and said Wack was begging for his life. I didn't say that. You put source on that.
I want you to listen.
Adam put source on it.
I want you to tell me what you get from that.
This is what I'm trying to get to.
Why didn't he text me?
To it?
Man, Wack, let him talk, bro. Why are you accosting Trap Lord Ross?
Because you might not want to admit this. You had your blower.
Okay.
You're begging him not to kill him.
Now stop right there.
Right?
Like Clubhouse.
If I got my blower and you 20 deep with hoodies and I'm by myself, right? No begging to plead. That's when you really do it, right? What do you think my mentality was? For a dude not to approach me and you come to get me, and I jump out my car talking, what kind of conversation you think I'm having to make a dude say, don't nobody move?
I agree with you.
Now,
I feel like
Blick talk.
I feel like
out there.
You probably was on that Soulja Boy shit.
Now I'm about to expose something nobody ever knew.
Oh, shit.
So here it goes, right?
Ground zero,
I'm here.
See, here's the thing, too. Now Wack is on No Jumper, openly and outwardly admitting to having pistola on him. And here we are.
All of this is a parking lot, right? I'm here. They walk down. They walk right past my car. They didn't even see me. When I seen them get here, I jumped out. Y'all looking for me? Right?
Shit.
They stopped. They back was to me. Y'all, I had everything I had. I could have dealt with everything in front of me.
And and y'all know when I get low, I go to getting off in threes. It's one of my favorite conversations. Wack said, I started getting off in threes. I started going off in threes. I got one person at 12 o'clock. I got one person at 2 o'clock. I got one person at 7:35. That's right. I got a soldier position at 11:26.
Now, what they didn't know is I'm talking to my team. Big U-Nim is here. Now, watch,
DB, what's the deal?
Watch this. Look, watch this. Big U-Nim is here. I'm here out the car. Third, who was here, and here?
You taking notes?
Hold on. Third, who in that parking lot when I'm confronting these 20 Crips was 20 to 30 feet in every direction and they didn't know it? All my homies was behind them.
That's new information.
Listen.
That's new information, man.
So listen, check this out. So when I'm letting you know, there's no need to beg nothing. What did I tell that fool? My home, they still don't know to this day that all my homies was positioned 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock. They didn't even see him. I'm talking to my homies in code, letting them know which way I'm going to push them. I said, nigga, ain't nothing but 20 of y'all. I'm going to down 3 of y'all. I just told him I'm going to get off in 3s. Right? At that point, he knows if he's getting off in 3s, when he go to 2s, he's running out of it. These dudes right now to this day had no idea that they was ambushed. So why the f you?
I love how Vlad just sits here quietly the whole time, not saying anything. Anything.
He said I was by myself, right? I wasn't by myself. All you got to do is pay attention to the 3 people who got off the stage with Kanye. Now let's do the math, dummies. The 3 dudes in red, does he look familiar? So where did they disappear to? When we walked Kanye to Fig, because that's where his car was at?
Because he's really slappable. He has a very slappable face.
Right, let's clear that up. Kanye said, Wack, my car is on Fig. I said, well, we got to walk around. He like, why we just can't go right there? So you got to go through the crowd. He said, your people would, I don't care. So we walked Kanye through the crowd, took him to Fig, went down the escalator, got in the cars. I pulled out first. I always pull out first. My people is here, here, and here. As you seen, he said what? He was by himself. The bozo don't know till his day that he was already ambushed. So once I'm going.
Isn't it amazing how in a federal case where people are going to jail for having firearms and you know, catching cases for what's going on No Jumper, this man is outwardly and openly talking about the situation like it's just nobody's business? Isn't it that like one of the most incredible things that we've seen?
You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna do this.
This nigga think he
You know what happens?
This nigga think he the equalizer. Oh my God, bro. That's hilarious. He said this nigga think he the equalizer. That is hilarious, bro. Hey, the equalizer ain't nothing but a black John Wick. That's it and that's all.
From that, and you start getting that blowing at you another way,
It's like
what
a
happens?
military operation. I like that.
So now the world knows bozo. Think about it. Where did the 4 dudes go that got off the stage with him and Ye? Where did they go? They were in the parking lot with me. But you tried to play it.
But if you were the threat, then why didn't anything happen?
What do you mean?
You
gotta
said you
ask
did the
to-
ambushing.
You got to ask the 20 people. They came to get me, right? Listen, I'm going to be real. They marked themselves out. It'd have been 20 power rules going to get one person, and they jumped out like that, you would have had to use that. I told Big U, this is what I told him.
You gave him a pass?
No, I told Big U, yo move.
Did you call him by his government name?
I said, yo move. You going first. Let's get to it. He said, cuz don't move, cuz it killed me. It's exact words. I'm telling my team in code, talking to him, I say,
considering the fact that now here you are a year later and you're actually named as a victim, I don't think the whole cuz will kill me thing really was something that happened. I'm sorry. I just don't see cuz will kill me. You feel me? I don't know. I mean, y'all business, but okay.
you ain't holding the cards. They listen to me tell them to do what? Hold, because I see them moving in. I don't want you that close, because I'm going to make them scatter. I got some shit that's going to make freedom ring. That's a fact. Think about it. What make 20 gang members stop in their track? A 38? Does that do it? Nah. Gotta have some shit, right? Let's just be real.
Hey, put a drink on him, niggas?
Let's just be real.
This just says blow up.
No, I'm asking you. What make 20 dudes stop in their tracks? And you know they had some shit. It takes something. Listen, it's a fat, ugly broad walk through here. We wouldn't trip. We'd keep talking. If a bad bitch walk through here, we gonna stop and look, right? So it gotta be a showstopper, right? So now I just exposed to you that the bozo said what? He was by himself. I never was by myself.
But this him on a wiretap bragging to somebody else,
Right,
possibly.
you got it
Story,
without voice,
right?
yeah. But you sent it like
Adam
it
put the
was
source
real.
on this originally and
But
said
see-
begging. I never said
But
begging.
you sent it like it was real.
I was just reading what you.
Well, it has to be real because now Big U's being charged with it. So consider the fact that he's now actually literally being charged with this crime. I would jump out the window and just say that it's real. I would, wager that this is a real situation, because I would imagine that a fake situation would, warrant so many, for lack of better words, police responses. I can imagine all this would happen from a fake situation.
That's the part he's mad about, the beggar. I never
No,
said that.
what I'm saying though, the part I'm mad about is you act like we cool. You just send it to me and say, Wack, what's up with this? You did the bitch ass shit you do, but they just can't catch you. So I'm here to let you know as a man, you's a bitch ass nigga for that.
No, he's not. Because all he was doing was showing me
because
a page from the biggest news of the day that my podcast co-host just so happens to be named in.
This is not public.
If I get something on you, who the first person I'm sending it to?
Of course, you're gonna hit me about it. But wait.
But
you sent it to me
He
too.
tried to send it to bro as if it was exposing me to something.
No, this is
that's
like
what
you
you
think.
think.
Together, and
I'm gonna be real.
But what did I send you before that? I sent you in there too. No jumper. First thing I sent you was no jumper.
You're reading through it.
So Wack is upset because Trap Lord Ross pretty much knew or could see what was going to happen, as we now have watched it happen.
You're sending me a couple of different things that seem
it's 107 pages. Bozo.
And he sent me
you
2.
chose to send him that.
But you were on the phone live busy, so I knew you were on the phone.
No, that's
you
some
were
bullshit.
live. I was watching live and I sent it to him.
You were called into the news at that moment.
Listen, it's 107 pages, right?
He tells stories like he an army vet. He would have got stripes and medals for these stories. Oh God!
And out of 107 pages, and there's some crazy stuff in that content. You chose to send him that, so you thought you was isolating Wack on some bullshit. That's what you thought.
That was
Keep
my
it real.
intention. That
I
was
want
my
the boy in you to tell the truth.
Nah, that wasn't my intention.
So what was your intention?
Real talk. I was reading through it. I see that section.
You see how it
That
feels
was
to
the
really.
craziest
You
thing.
see how it feels to really be in front of the people you talking about and playing with.
He doesn't care. Honestly, like these little threats that you're sending that Trap Lord Ross, he clearly doesn't care. See how it feels to be in front of the people you talk about. Now in front of me, you ain't finna blah blah blah. He's talking the exact same thing. The only difference between him being in front of you and not being in front of you is you just not letting him speak. But there's nothing actually different about how Trap Lord Ross is going about the situation outside of his inability to get a sentence out because you won't stop interrupting.
No, I hear it.
I hear
He does that all the time.
No, he don't. No, he don't.
Oh yeah, he does.
Man, that dude get caught in certain places. He know it. He in certain places. While you get up and go to Chicago, boy.
What I'm doing is worse than what he's doing.
No,
he's not even putting any of them
fuck with him. They don't fuck with dude because they feel like he's a foreigner and he's stern.
You're telling people what they think about Trap Lord Ross. And that's another thing. Like, who really reads an entire disposition? Nobody. We read the part that's important to us. We read the part that we care about. We read the part that makes sense, that matters to what we have going on. And outside of that, we don't give a damn. Outside of that, we give a whole flu flaming fudge. A whole flu flaming fudge.
Shit up.
Your call is definitely being recorded.
No, they love him.
No.
I've seen it. He's in here all the time
bro.
while I'm interviewing random people. They're all geeked up to take photos with him.
No, listen, let me tell you something. If they catch dude, like I caught him, I'm just chilling, but I'm gonna let you know, don't play with me. Right? If you claim we got a relationship and we cool, bro, don't play with me. Don't do the back door shit. Because when I tell somebody I'm straight with them, when I get it, I send it to them. Right? The fact that you send it to Adam while we live, you know what he gonna do. So you wanted him to present it like.
So instead of being mad at Adam 22 for presenting it, you're mad at Trap Lord Ross? What? Instead of being mad at Adam for reading it, you're mad at Trap Lord Ross. Okay.
It was some bogus shit.
That I would say that was.
So when you read that, you didn't get that big. You was putting extras on it. The real reason why you didn't attack that man is for something different. You didn't get that from that.
You didn't even.
To be fair, though, I didn't add any context. I just sent him a couple screenshots of multiple things from here. That
he had to read it to send the screenshot.
I did read it. As soon as I saw that, I sent it. I was unfinished.
If you didn't put narrative on it, I know we posted that. Like we posted all the juicy parts, the juicy parts. I mean, we have no comment on it because
you do.
And obviously, like I think I could see the context in this. This is a nigga gassing. He's telling. It's like me being in a fight and me like, yo,
well, here go the thing, though. Here go the thing. Yeah. Know what to gas and what not to gas. Choose your enemies and make sure you got your you know, your friends, bro.
But you're conflating him sending me
I'm
a
telling you,
screenshot
I'm
of my
telling you straight like
podcast
this.
co-host being named in a federal RICO indictment as if he was somehow trying to smear your name or like create a narrative about
I'm
you.
finna go to New Orleans on you. I'm going back to Miss Gladys. May she rest her soul. Put some respect on my name, boy. You understand what I'm saying?
For that. You gotta do the hand for that one.
Put some respect on my name. Ain't that I started did it?
Nah, I think Wack feel like you were trying to like almost like call him out because Wack has told his story before. So I guess he probably feel like you were sending.
No,
like,
what I'm saying is I felt he was smart enough to read that and see the extra brag.
But here's the thing, though. You're mad at Trap Lord Ross because he read it, but his lines are zigzag. His lines are definitely zigzag. Let me get back to this real quick because you're mad at Trap Lord Ross, but we'll kind of take it back around this situation. Take it back to this paperwork. That's funny as fuck. That nigga talking. Hey, Wack speaking cursive for sure.
This is what I was loud and I was correct. I was loud and I was correct. Niggas drug my name through the mud to protect the nigga that was in paperwork. I've been saying it. I've been saying it. You niggas is fucking weird, bro. You niggas are weird, bro. I've been saying it for the longest. This nigga's in paperwork. All you weird ass YouTube niggas, weirdos, bro. Weirdos, bro. You niggas push the weird ass narrative to hide things.
This has been
is no jumper live right now, and if so, is Lush on there?
A topic for quite some time. Wack has always been saying, I'm not in the paperwork, I'm not in the paperwork. And people have been debating over whether or not Wack was actually involved in this investigation in the eventual charging and incarceration of Big U. Now, here we have it. Right here, the government is saying that Big U is charged. These overt acts are not just things that were mentioned in the paperwork for exercise. You know, these are things that Big U is actually charged with, you know. And the reason why I find that funny is because one of the overt acts says that Big U made a statement saying that he was bigger than Nipsey Hussle, and I'm still confused on how that constitutes a federal crime. But like I said, the government.
Nigga, this is barn.
Keep in mind, earlier in the interview, Wack said that he was saying that he was bigger than Nipsey Hussle and so forth and so on. And that's in the paperwork. That's in the paperwork. So nobody's negating that that's in the paperwork because you hear Byron Blake, who has recently lost his channel, going over the same situation. But on the same token, if Wack is so adamant and so knowledgeable about the paperwork, he would know about his own involvement, his own inclusion in said paperwork.
But you know what, Reg? It's not barnacles. I've been saying it. You know what? So for everybody watching the YouTube land, I can see how it's barnacles for you. But to me, there are no codes to be barnacled. There are no codes to be barnacled. It's not barnacles. There are no codes to be barnacled at all. There's not a single code to be barnacled. There's no barnacles. There's no Kellias to be barnacled here. It's a bunch of skulls.
But it's a bunch of skulls to be dug.
Duggery, food family, and larceny, boy, I swear.
It is now saying that
we got the word.
Big U is charged with assault on Wack 100. He's also charged with making threats to Wack 100. I'm interested to see how this is going to play out because Wack has been trying very hard to keep his name from being attached to this in the witness aspect. But when you look at things like this, the defendant should remain detained for the safety of the community, the victims and witnesses in this case. In defendant's own words,
Big U should stay in jail for the safety of Wack, is what they're saying, bro.
If I would have had a problem with any man, the issue would have been resolved and he wouldn't be here or I wouldn't be here. And for the hope of some semblance of justice for the families of his victims. Indeed, with seemingly just hours of notice of his pending arrest, defendant has already destroyed valuable evidence attempted to paint a false narrative of his criminality in the public, and publicly condemned his enemies by name. He cannot be allowed to continue on this obstructive.
Publicly condemned his enemies by name. That's that video when Big U said 600 and Wack.
Isn't it crazy how this situation continues to go further and further? And again, this is giving us a year update after Big U had that case, put on him. And nobody in YouTube land is really talking about this, man. Nobody in YouTube land is really seemingly covering this. Nobody in YouTube land seems to really, care about exploring the actual truth after so many falsehoods and after so many rumors were put in place.
They would also state that further, the defendant's release would pose a serious risk to individuals whom have assisted the government in this case, as well as witnesses and victims who have so far refused to cooperate or provide statements because of what they know. As defendant made clear in an intercepted call on January 5th, 2023, being a rat means you are done. Indeed, trying to intimidate and dissuade anyone from cooperating with law enforcement or otherwise reporting information about defendant before turning himself in, defendant posted an Instagram video naming his co-defendants and known opponents, instructing the public to not associate with them and claiming if they did, they were not black. So
I've been telling y'all about this. I've been telling. How did we get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. I told y'all that Wack was snitching 4 or 5 times. The YouTube niggas is weird. They said no. Nobody's supposed to be here.
Carjack 100 here. If you need your transmission check, come on down to Carjacks. I'm your transmission expert.
I'm glad that you enjoyed that content. We heard the cries, we heard the complaints. Now we don't got no intro, but we do got an outro with the same information, man. Make sure that you are tapped in. Make sure you dropping comments. Make sure you dropping likes. Make sure you subscribing to everything we have going on here at TNN Trap News Network, because we will be giving away some more Chiliana once we hit that 40,000 membership, 40,000 subscriber, threshold. We're gonna make sure that we give y'all some Chiliana, man. So make sure that y'all stay tapped in. Make sure y'all stay looking out. Make sure y'all stay right here at TNN Trap News Network. The news you can use, the knowledge you're not finna get in nobody's college. Hit a like, hit a comment, hit a good subscribe button for everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. We're gonna keep you updated on what's going on these YouTube streets. You already know the deal, man. If you enjoyed this content, throw the red dot to the left. You know the rest. We gone.
Hi, I'm Wack 100. When I'm not snitching on the internet, I'm snitching in real life for your own personal home security. Call 1-800-WACK-ATTACK. We're first, law enforcement second.
Hey, I'm Adam22. Got an extra soul laying around? Be like Doughboy and Wack 100 and sell yours today. One soul equals a lot of clout.
Apollo Jackson. It's dangerous. Can't come outside when it's dangerous. Work all in the floorboard. Tell the ops check the scoreboard. You can't come outside when it's dangerous. And if you shoot, you ain't miss. A nigga ball like game 6. A nigga ball like game 6.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we didn't get from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Miss it with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6.
Game 60 bands on my neck when I got it on me. And I remember I was broke, I never let him hold me. Final seconds with my back against the wall. 81 point strong with this K, I call it Kobe. Running through this lettuce, nothing you can tell us.
gotta watch my back, I know that they get jealous. Real shit, I got rich, ain't gotta embellish. Real life made men, they call us good fellas. And I ain't got anxiety, I know it's intuition. May never love a bitch, but I for sure play my position. I know the streets talking, I'm cracking, so I ain't tripping. I said I play for keeps, but I guess them niggas ain't listening. Sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Shoot like Curry, and I can't miss. Nah, you can't come outside when it's dangerous. You niggas never outside when it's outside, nigga.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we didn't get from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missing with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6.
I've been winning, tell my ops check the scoreboard. Money in the attic, work all in the floorboard. Late night, that's the life that we pray for. Overtime with the pack is what we in the game for. Put myself in the game and everything is just a memory. Made a couple plays for the pain, not an enemy. Gotta watch my friends more, I gotta watch the enemies. Niggas hella fake, I know we're enemies' intentions. I let it go until it click if I'm aiming. Started staying safe and ended up staying dangerous. Game on the line, see the pressure I can take. Hall of Fame shit, so if it's mine, I'ma take. Niggas sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Niggas shoot like Curry, and I can't miss. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we didn't get from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missing with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we didn't get from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missing with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6.
Sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Shoot like Curry, and I can't miss. You niggas never outside when it's dangerous. You niggas always inside when it's dangerous. Shoot like Curry, and I can't miss. Niggas sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous. You niggas never outside when it's dangerous.